everyone, my name is Jessica, and while it may only be July, I am here with some Christmas in July recommendations of Christmas romances or winter romances for you to check out this summer. The first recommendation I have is Alaskan Christmas Escape, where we have our heroine who is a fugitive on the run because there is a kill squad after her, and her neighbor, who she's had a little bit of a crush on, is there to help, and he is a wounded SEAL, and they have to be on the run together, running away from people trying to kill our heroine at Christmas time. Then we have A Merry Christmas Date, which is a friends to lovers romance where our heroine has been longing to be with our hero for so long and he's never seen her that way, so she decides to change up her life and look for love, and he does not know how he feels about that. It's a cute friends to lovers romance taking place at Christmas time. What I think of as one of the most romantic times of the year. Then we have Prince's Christmas Baby Surprise, which is, you guessed it, a surprise baby romance where our hero and heroine meet. He is a prince and they have a one-night stand. The heroine gets pregnant and they have to deal with their emotions for one another, what they're gonna do about their relationship now that there's a baby coming. And the last one I have is New Year Kiss with His Cinderella, which is an office place romance where the hero and heroine have a New Year's kiss together. They really enjoy it, go their separate ways. The heroine starts her new job and realizes the hero is actually one of her colleagues. Will this New Year's kiss become something more? I don't know, but you need to read it to find out. And those are some Christmas romance recommendations you need to pick up this July. Let me know in the comments down below if you have any Christmas romance recommendations or what you're planning on reading this July. I would love to hear. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more romance content like this. Thank you so much for watching and have a good day.